Actress, which means it's going to moisturize.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly. Okay.
We can't go live. We gotta pay for the Zoom account in order to go live. I think I don't feel like logging in school, so.
Alrighty.
I don't know if it'll go across the same way. I mean, I can't if you want me to.
That's okay.
I mean, I'll still be able to put it up. We'll still have the video. I can still put it up like right after the meeting's over. I'm right after you guys done recording.
Okay. Alrighty. So we are going to get started. All right.
Let's get started. Oh.
Lights, camera, action. All right.
You gotta do your opening. I'll cut out the beginning part for your opening.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Mary Jane Maiden here. Thank you so much for joining us. We are now in a different environment. You see, I'm on the beach.
I see you.
Sitting on my big bed. No, I'm kidding. I'm in my room, guys. Obvi. Be dope if this was really what I was looking at. It will be one day. I will look out of my window. I'm not gonna be like the crazy people that have like the floor to ceiling windows with no blinds. That's like perfect for a crazy person to come and kill you. You know, they see you walking around the house and you just got all your business out there. Tangent. But yes, so.
Or in my
so
case,
yes, thank you
to be watching you. No.
True, exactly. Like I seriously always think that could be happening. Way too many 80s movies and America's Most Wanted. Way too much of my growing up. But yes, my girl is here. You know, we are going to be doing the responsible social distancing. Although last week we were still very responsible, but you know, as the numbers have grown, and we all know that Vita is a healthcare worker, so she definitely has to be aware and you know, accountable and cognizant of what her steps are to prior working with patients, or working with patients and coming back and seeing me in my house with babies. So not saying that we'll always be apart like this. Not saying that that's going to be the norm. Maybe next week we may be back, you know, together next week. Maybe we just will like throw on some masks and, you know, full hazmat, you know, outfit and set up in the living room again. I miss the studio a bit, you know, and we are essential employees, so we do have essential jobs because we are part of the media. I learned today from the hubby, I was like, a podcaster in Sacramento, like, come on. But no, we're part of the news and media, so we could definitely go back to the studio, or, you know, we may be back at the house. You know, Popcorn Celebrity opened up his lounge. Now, of course, we know that we can't convene there at all. So that would be very far in the future that we have that. Oh, crazy. Before I forget. So let me just go back. So what's up to my girl here, Vita, my right hand. She's on my left side right now because we're zooming and I'm looking at the TV. So, hey, girl, how you doing? Thank you for joining us this late and, you know, waiting for us to get all of our stuff together.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. We're up, so I mean I'm up, you're up, so we might as well just make some use of the time.
Well, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do when the school year comes back in, because my schedule is going to be all kind of fucked, because we, you know, easy 7, 8 o'clock, and then the boys, now that they're, you know, doing their online learning, you know, we get them up. Dad is not playing. He makes them put on their uniform to sit in 2 desks that he came and my phone's full, so we have 2 desks in our living room where they sit and they go right on and they do their work. So, you know, we gotta try to keep them on schedule. It is nice because a little bit later that we get to get them up, and then we don't have to try to rush out the door. So yeah, so we just having to get them out the house and, you know, go do some PE type things. You know, it's gonna be a little bit more my responsibility to do science kind of stuff, which is kind of cool, because, you know, there's a lot of shit that you can do with like some baking soda and some, you know, some vinegar, or, you know, I had to make Jello the other day. That's chemistry. You know, that, you know, that's something we made lava lamps last week.
Making slime is chemistry.
What's that called?
Slime.
Alka-Seltzer, yes. What'd you say, huh?
Making slime is chemistry, and I have 2 bottles of Elmer's Brew.
He asked to make slime, and I said, you need to ask Miss Chandra, because she, or, you know, you're a friend there. Yeah. Ask her, right? She would love to make slime. That's what he asked the other day. Actually, we were supposed to make volcano slime.
Oh.
So maybe that's a day that you can come on over, or we can come over and go in your backyard or something like that. And do that shit
That out. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Volcano.
yeah. I'll send you I'll follow a bunch of science-based fun activities where you don't have to go and freaking empty out your wallet to get the materials that you need. It's basically pantry items, or you can run to the Dollar Tree and get some shit. So yes, guys. So I'll just get off of my intro, but of course.
Sorry.
So yes.
I'm gonna grab it real quick.
So okay. So yes, you got your girl here, Mary Jane. You got your girl here, Mary Jane, and you are, of course, Menage with the Mary Jane Maven. Thank you for joining us. If you guys, listened, which I'm sure that you did, or we don't have the video up yet. We will be putting that video up. That night last week, celebrating my birthday, I mean, we started filming at 9:30 and stopped at 3. That was with some breaks, and then we had a guest, and so we're probably gonna end up breaking up like that, which was totally probably about 3.5 hours of actual show into 2, because the latter half of that conversation was exactly what I like. But it was good. So yeah, so last week, guys, I celebrated. I was not gonna let the Rona take away my birthday celebration, so I was extra lit last week. Sure you guys have lots of funny moments of things that I said or what I did. Just don't make me mean. We're cool.
They can already do it all. I mean, they can already listen to a stream.
So yeah, you can listen to it streaming on all streaming platforms. Especially want to give a shout out to our group of listeners in France. Guys, I have to share this. I don't know if I did last week because, like I said, I was lit, so I don't remember. But our numbers, as far as our listenership and our viewership in France, has gone from like 2% to 11%, 22, 31. Now it's like 43 almost. I thought it was 47. Last time I checked.
Maybe 43 or 47.
So a large amount. So I don't know what we're doing. Maybe they like the black girls with blonde hair. I don't know. But I'm super happy for it. Maybe they're passing along the word while they're like in quarantine there or whatever, being like, hey, listen to this shit that goes on in America. I don't know. But like I told Vita, when the time comes for us to do a live show, I am not mad if our very first show will be in France, because that's where both of our listeners are. So give a shout out, special shout out to France. As long as they keep having higher numbers, then they'll get the shout out. What's up, hon?
Well, the French, they like amour and romance and, talking about love and all that. So definitely.
I know, right? Oh my God, what is the name of that? Oh, speaking of that. So, yeah, so just speaking of that made us think. So this past summer, Vita knows, this will be an every summer thing, but we attend a local resort. This resort is clothing optional. It's a family resort. Nothing. Well, I was about to lie and say nothing for you on there, but it does. It's not supposed to, but it does. Well, we were there when we had to move in October unexpectedly. We were gonna have a week and a half that we didn't have anywhere to stay, so we camped out there, which was dope. So it was much different than being there during the summer when our friends that we ended up making were there, and it was just a lot of wise individuals, wise and very Caucasian, that were there. Cool as fuck though. Still had great conversations with people and stuff. I think they were really amazed to see like a young black couple there, and then we talking about our boys and stuff. But long story short, I ended up meeting a priest, not an ex-priest, a practicing priest, who that's where his vacations or his holidays were taken, was to resorts. He's gone to hedonism. He says he didn't know what it was, but I was like, it was called hedonism, sir.
Right.
But he told me about this town in France, and it is a town, let's see, that is completely nudist.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Yeah, like you do everything. You go to the bank, you go, like, it's freaking crazy. So I was like, I'd go to France to go there. Let's see. What is it called? Oh,
Yeah,
there it is.
I'm like,
Um,
I want my like camera somewhere better. My phone is bugging me.
Was it? Cap de Aj. Yeah, I am not going to. Let's see.
I'll look for it.
Let's see what Auntie Google says to how to pronounce it. I found it. I just need to. Can you see how?
See,
But yes, so this place.
I don't like nudism. It bothers me. I'm not gonna lie. I
said
hate
you don't
to sound
what?
so rigid, but I don't like it. Yeah.
What, naked men? Like any naked?
No, like nudism.
Why is that?
Like everyone being nude together. It's
Oh.
just not my thing. Because of Hawaii. I think it's because of being young.
Did you grow up? You grew up in that though, right?
Not necessarily in it, but with it
not a
around.
nudist lifestyle, but you grew up in it.
Yeah. And I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. But I don't judge.
So the psychologist to me just wants to know why, because it's surprising that you say that, because you're so open to people living their freedom and living their truth in any other way. So I'm surprised that would make you an easier to something that you say you don't like.
I want them to live their truth. I want, if that's what a person wants to do, I want them to do it. I just don't want to do it with them. That's all I'm saying. Like, oh, okay, you're going to the nude beach, have fun,
So yes. So is this only men? We have questions here. So this comes from me. 1, is this only men? 2, the hubby says, so do you have sex with your clothes on, like your full entire outfit?
No, just scrubs and everything.
Your scrubs and everything. Like, is that
No,
you just have a hole right here, like in the old, where they only had a hole in the sheet for you to have sex on your marriage night?
No, that's totally different. You're not sleeping with people when you're at the nude beach with them or the nude resort. The nudity isn't even about the sexuality at that point. So
it's not. However, the lines do cross between alternative lifestyle and nudism.
True.
And so, like I said, although there wasn't supposed to be shit going on there, when it was, at night, when it was very quiet, you definitely heard the tents shaking. So, yeah, so it's that, but that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, no judging, but,
No, completely. So, because if so, you'd be judging me. But,
I see
so
naked
this
bodies
episode
all the time. I see naked people all the time.
True.
It's just, it's not in a, flattering way.
That's not, like, girl, like, I told you the first day that we walked up, the hubby was like, why are his nuts dragging in the dirt? And I'm like, because he's like 90. And he's like, but yeah, balls dragging. I was like, yeah, babe, just like tits, just like that, like gravity affects both. And he was like mind blown, like he really had never thought about that. Girls, we saw lots of, titties. I was like, is that your stomach, or like what is going on? But look, what I loved about it is that these people were walking around like they were fucking dimes. Like they were just,
No shame.
First, I have to remember that what's pleasing to me is not, they were with their significant other and they had been together for 180 years. So somebody liked it. You know what I'm saying? So what it did for me, actually, instead of making me judgmental and be like, ooh, this, or I have a better this than that, I felt even more comfortable in my skin. So what, I like my beards. Only blame myself for having a little bit of a gut. I'll be 1,000%. I was, of course, still slimmer, and things were a little tighter and where they were supposed to be. But I'm also 30 years younger than a lot of those people. Now, during some of the bigger weekends where events were going on, that's when it was like, ooh, oh, see that over there? Because then it started being like a broader group of people. But I'm gonna tell you, older people, they will shoot their shot. man, because we got at, see, I told you about the guy that was like, can you help me remember something? I've only been with one black woman. Remember I told you that one?
Like
Wanted
that
to know
was,
how they take, yeah, that's, okay. Whole nother show, guys. We'll come back to that. But what this episode is going to be about.
Do you want to show the news column? Or news
Oh, yeah. Let's show that. Yeah, so the hubby pulled up that city in France.
You sure?
Yes. This could be the place that hosts our first live show. Now, being that, you know, we all know that Vita doesn't want to see or participate. You guys may have to wear your clothes to the first event, you know what I mean, to our show. She, you know. I'm joking. But yes, so this is the beach right here. And I mean, you see the first people that are right there. So, hey.
yeah, that's about right.
But it's, yeah. So 40,000 nudists during the warmer months is what the resort, it's a town, what they attract. So it's Cap de Jade. Yeah, I was taking Spanish. By the time I even considered to take French, and I was like, it said what? What? That's how I said it. And so I was like, let me speak Spanish.
Well, let me say this. For something like that, I'm open to the experience, and here's why. Because actually, the last time I was at a nude beach, I was like, okay, look, I didn't come here to get naked. You guys tricked me, and it's just a long story. But I decided to take the moment to just look around me and embrace whatever it was I saw. You know what I mean? And I saw a lot. But I saw this woman who was pregnant, laying down with a hat over her head, so you couldn't see her face. And just to be able to gaze at her naked, pregnant form without worrying about offending her because you're staring, right? Because her hat was over her head, so she was in her own thing. It was just really a beautiful thing. Like, I don't know if I'll ever get to see someone in that nakedness with that life inside of them like that ever again.
No, I totally get it. I think that although,
What's my friend?
there was somebody, there was a couple pregnant people there this summer. I could imagine how great that feels. Especially if you're in like the third trimester, it's hot. Last thing you want to do is have a fucking dress and shit. You just to be able to just go in and get in the pool and just let, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's
a natural woman
feels that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really. But I think that's what your mindset has to be. Although your initial thought may be, ooh, that's not aesthetically pleasing to me, or oh, his balls are dragging behind him, or oh, this is not the 70s lady, let me introduce you to a racer, like things like that. Overall, you really get to see what's beautiful about the human form in all stages of it. It really makes you think, because there were kids there, you know, our first couple of days, which we were like, oh, whoa, it was, because it was a pretty busy weekend that they had these kids there. And so to see it from not that I was looking, but to see it from like a little baby, there was babies there, and then seeing it to like the oldest person there, like you just see, you know, life and its progression, and you can see that you're having the time of your life as a newborn baby or as a baby trying to, you know, discover your world around you, and now at 70, 80, you know what the fuck's going on. You live in this resort all day, every day. You wake up and you can just hop on your bike and go down and get your mail ass naked. You know, you can go to the restaurant ass naked. Like, I remember telling you we were going swimming, and I was like, "Ooh, do we have to go?" Remember at my last place, you were like, "Let's go swimming." I was like, "That means I have to put on clothes." Like, I was not used to putting on a bathing suit because I had been swimming for 4 or 5 months now at that time with no bathing suit. Like, I don't know why we packed clothes whenever we went there for a couple of days. I would pack like I was going to Vegas. Wasn't needed, but it was very good fun. So that, like I said, once again, whole different thing. But this episode, guys, good talk, good intro, huh? That was a good spark and salutations, wasn't it, guys? So this episode is going to be about crisis breeding creativity, and creativity is all encompassing. So it can definitely mean, you know, the normal standards of how we think, or the normal definition of it, or it could be being creative with your situation. So I'm going to read something that, actually, I don't know if my bed and everything. I'm going to read something that came across to me today that gave me the idea for what this episode was going to be about. It was on Insta. Yes. Oh, I want to share this so bad. So I'm crazy about TikTok, guys. I have to tell you, do you know that they were inside the LA County jail? Somebody had a phone and a TikTok account, and there's like 8 gangster-looking, hardcore, you know, at least at this time, they are not prisoners, but they are inmates, doing one of the most popular dances on TikTok. Like, I'm gonna have to like put my phone to, I think y'all will be able to see it.
Now they all about to get an extra time.
I'm shocked that somebody has a phone in jail. What'd you say?
I said now they're all about to get a little extra time for that phone and that TikTok.
Girl. Right? Because first of all, hella cops and stuff are on TikTok. Because when I'm watching, I'm like, don't y'all have some copping to do instead of doing dances and shit? So you're not telling me that for LA County, that there is not one guard there that's not going to see that shit. I mean, these dudes are smiling and big dudes that probably got bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. But yeah, so this is what this is based off of. So this is from the IG of @FarrahGray. If you don't come out of this quarantine with either a new skill, a side hustle you started, more knowledge, you never lacked time, you lacked discipline. Love that. And I'm going to add on to that, you lacked a focus and the concentration and the desire to want to know what your passion and your purpose are. So yeah, I mean, we said it last week. Yes, so the whole thing or just what I said, my bars, my flame, my fire. Which one do you want? I'm like Dylon, spit hot fire. No, so this definitely deserves it again. So we're definitely gonna have to tag FarrahGray. Very nice. Look, it's a brother too, so hey, knowledge. If you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill, your side hustle started, more knowledge, you never lacked time, you lacked the discipline. And Mary J. Mary was gonna add on to that. Not only that, but you've lacked the accountability, the focus, and the desire to really truly find out what your passion, therefore what your purpose is. And if you're not doing any of those things and any of what FarrahGray said, then you're definitely not seeing this time, this coronation that we're all on, you're not seeing it for the positive outcome that it could be, the positivity that it's bringing about. I mean, really, I think Dr. Fauci, who, you know, is the head of everything right now, you know, the one that's coming up after Trump saying stupid shit and going, y'all, that ain't gonna happen. We're not getting back to normal in 2 weeks. He said, you know, yes, this is an inconvenience. This is what it is, an inconvenience to everyday life. But there are lives being lost. That's an internal thing. We're being inconvenienced for some weeks. You know, believe me, I celebrate my birthday. The hubby's birthday is 26 days from now. This is the beginning of our summer. We pretty much start up between March and September. You know, we have vacation plan. Vegas. Don't know. Vegas is, I don't even know Vegas. Are the lights on Vegas? Like, are they up and running? Like, it would be the most ridiculous thing because there's no way that you could control COVID, you know, in
not up and running. Vegas is shut down.
No, it would be the most boring vacation. It would be the most boring Vegas. You couldn't go to club. There'd be no pool parties. You probably have to like sit, like there'd only be 2 people at a table because they gotta have you so far. Like, that would be all bad. And you probably lose too, as far as gambling, because they need to make whatever money they can. And since there's not gonna be as many people, you definitely would be losing. But yeah, so the creativity aspect of what I'm talking about is it's a couple of different things that once I started thinking about it, these things were highlighted. So I know that Vita has her own. We kind of were talking a little bit before. You have your own, ideas or examples of how you see that crisis. That even though we're in crisis, is breeding creativity, and it's actually a larger conversation about how flexible and how
Adaptable.
capable of change we are. Yes, there you go. You knew exactly what I was going for. When we want to be, So, what do you think about that? Do you think that? I think everybody's acting right now better than expected, especially with everybody going in and getting all the water and all the wipes and the toilet papers, and with that, like, it seemed like it was going to be very freaking freaky 4 weeks later. I mean, we're going into our 4th week, but I think that it's going good. There's not too much hysteria. There is some, hence the gun shops doing great. Which I'm surprised that they're still open, because why are they an essential service? So why the fuck are they still open?
Because they want the money. We're still in America, it's a capitalist world. Cash rules everything around.
Why is what still open?
Get money. Gun stores and ammo stores.
That's considered essential.
Gun and ammo, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's not. My nails look a hot ass mess. That's essential to me. That I can't go and see Lynn. Lynn is, if anything, Lynn was like, but you should have my personal phone number. I'll come to your house, but I can't go do that. People can't go to the gym. Your health is essential. You can't go to the gym, but yet they say go on a walk, but don't have a family of 8, because y'all can't be together. Y'all got to split up and walk separate sides of the street. Like, so.
Well, I don't think that people really commune in gun stores typically, right? Like, there's a few customers in there, and each customer is dealing with a sales agent, but there shouldn't be like crowding the gun store.
Well, one, I know that first Sunday where they went to the shelter in place, we went to the bank and we drove by a store, and they were keeping people in a line outside, much like all the grocery stores and stuff are doing now. So if they're doing that, which they probably are, people in at a time, if it is a family, whatnot. But still, like, that is adding to the undue hysteria. That's just my opinion. Now, look, if you had it before, cool. Had it before. If you feel for whatever reason now, it's your absolute right to protect your family, do that. I just feel that when there's other businesses, such as restaurants, and 33% are projected to never return, but then you're letting ammo stores stay open. What's needed more? A restaurant and people being fed and, having a little reprieve from quarantine, or me being able to go get a, like, yeah. So I don't understand this. So you can't hear. Sorry, go ahead. My neighbors around here, they just act like they live on, like, we all live in our own plots of land, and you can't hear their fucking music that they just pull up and sit in their cars and play. Don't get me wrong. We pulled up today. We were listening to one of our favorite songs, Patiently Waiting. But that was at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, not 1:24 in the a.m. And you roll down your windows and sit in your car like.
Remember this about the guns, and I don't necessarily agree with them having the gun store. I am personally a member, a soldier, a general in an army, referred to as the unarmed peacekeeping force. So guns, for me, are kind of the opposite of the goal of my army, right? But guns are in the amendment. They're in the Constitution, excuse me. And so this is where people get away with this, is they're like, oh, it's right there, the right to bear arms.
Yeah. So. I see that. I see that they will probably also be put on restriction of some sort. I think it's going to have to be done, because we do have to really start honing it in even more. You know, the weather has been nice here. I'm telling you, it does not look like we're supposed to be on a stay-in shelter. It does not, compared to the major cities, New York, San Francisco, Seattle, and damn, I can't remember the other place. Once again, Vice. Vice is awesome, you guys. I'm telling you, just go to YouTube. Please subscribe to Vice News and the Vice channel.
Oh yeah.
That is information that's provided in a way that's easily digestible. Every story, no matter if you really never thought that you had an interest in, you know, one-legged rodeo cowboys who, you know, travel the Oregon Trail. I don't know. You'll find some of interest in it because of the way that it's delivered. But once again, Vice News, it showed something, and it was like 4 cities, and I know those 3 that I said, but flying over them, empty, like no cars. You drive around Sacramento? It was 70 degrees today. People look like they was about to go out, and so it's just like, not everybody's an essential worker. Not everybody that I see works at a grocery store or a gas station or something like that. So, and only time I'm going out is when I'm going to the grocery store, to Walmart, or to get these boys and us out of this house, and that's up the street to an empty park. Today I went and literally like put a sheet out, big ass sheet, and was like, this is my area. And they went to the basketball courts, and there was some kids playing on the other end. And I was just kind of getting vibes. It wasn't really. I was kind of like, don't y'all want to go to the playground? They were teenagers, so they ended up going to the playground. It was just those vibes, those areas vibes. Told them to go somewhere. But we did half an hour. We were good. Let's go. Round it up. Everybody strip your clothes off when you come in. Wash your hands. Do everything. But I don't know where everybody's going. I do know people are kicking it. In like much larger groups than necessary. I get it if you have 5, 6, 7, 8 people, your closest friends over.
There's how we try to do.
Right? But dudes and chicks, and try not to say nigga as much because I think I said it a lot last week. Yeah, I think I did. Reminds me of every time. It reminds me of Ted too. See those white niggas over there? Funny shit ever, guys. If you haven't seen it, I don't know. She just froze on me. It's like the TikTok challenge.
I was saying, when logging in TikTok, flat up the dudes.
Oh yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So while we're there you are. There you go.
Yeah. Sorry.
Welcome.
People
back.
are people, you know, they're resistant to change, you know, and that's to be expected. Yeah. You know, that is a normal human response for a lot of people, depending on how they have been taught and have previously managed to adapt to change. People.
Yeah. Well, it's also where you get your information to make the decisions on whether or not you want to change. Because some people, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know where you're getting your information from. We said this last week, having doubt because it's a government agency or whatever else, great. But there's common sense, guys. People are dying. Like, we are almost 1 million people in the world that have passed. I mean, places are shut down. Italy, there's museums. There's just, this is not a big ass fucking, we're not being pranked. You know what I'm saying? Or punk, there we go. It's Ashton Kutcher's not in on it. So I don't understand why it's so hard for people to grasp just the ability or, the opportunity. Stay your happy ass at home. I'm hoping and praying that people are not having a hard time and, people being laid off, they're not able to kind of bounce back from it or get unemployment or, people get these stimulus checks pretty quickly here and then we get back to norm. But everybody's in the same boat. So if you are, everybody's in the same boat. Just take it as a blessing, and it is for what it is. Believe me, like I said last week, my babies, good Lord. I mean, especially now as a parent, you have children in school, if they're in high school and stuff, okay, you don't have to worry as much.
Yes, I like it too.
So what?
That lady, the mom, Laura, please. One is short.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so Why is Robin Thicke just talking so much on my TikTok?
How many
So yes,
people?
oh, you must say. What you say?
How many people in the weeks and months or even years before this were complaining how much they hated their job and how much they just wanted to rest or spend more time with their family or do this or do that? And I'm not saying this is a vacation essentially, because there is still crisis to be solved, but for the average person who's not a nurse, who's not a doctor or a healthcare worker, or then you don't have to be out in the community. Take it as your
We're
time.
all getting early summer, but we just can't. It's like you got an early summer from school, but you got grounded. Like but like I said, you see it for the blessing that it is. And so we'll talk, because we definitely hit on, that aspect of people, complaining and doing all that. We did that last week. I do remember that much.
But smart people.
But this is definitely more on the positive side, because we were saying creativity. So what started that for me is, what allowed me to see that is, once again, I'm going to talk about TikTok. I think TikTok is a blessing. I believe in the universe giving us things, when it's due. And I know TikTok's been around for a couple of years, but it was always like what some little kids did and, whatever. Now, everybody and their mom was on it. Everybody. Like, I was real leery about it, but I kept being told for business purposes and, branding purposes, it'd be good to have. Everybody's on it. Will Smith. I can't stand her, but Tamar Braxton. The cool sister twin. Not the annoying one, but the cool one. Tia. Yeah, Tia, right? Yes. Tamara's on the reel. Yes. So Tia, the cool one. Because the other one, she does not look like she'd be a fun person. Geez, who else was on there? Oh my God. Who I've been watching? Kevin Hart. But of course, he has social media locked as far as, being a celebrity. But it's just nice to see families on there together. Another thing that TikTok can do is it shows that white people can dance. Yeah. I mean, there's some out there that aren't doing the moves, but there's some out there that I'm like, hey, and to see older, so you could see like the white boys that were like David Silver back in the day. You can see who they are now as dads, because they can dance and And it's funny to see how they start getting so involved and they start taking over their kids' page, and they're in like every video that their kid posts and stuff. So I think that's awesome, because it's bringing families together. It's something to do during quarantine. I mean, he's annoying as hell, but Jason Derulo, he posts all the time. You would think it's his damn job. I mean, I know we don't want to hear him sing, so he can perform on TikTok. Tyga, all the time. I mean, Tyga like connected with another gentleman who is now a creator, and they have like a slapping ass remix to a sound on TikTok. So it's so many different benefits that I see from it. I see from the business standpoint. I see how the marketing aspect, how my brain works that way. So I see how great that is. It's also an opportunity for people to create their own brand and lead into entrepreneurship. Marketing has this whole influencer aspect of it that's only growing. That's not going away. Our kids, that's what their marketing's going to be. That's their norm, is influencers, and they're not even going to realize that they're being marketed to, because that's such a norm. They sit and watch people play video games on YouTube right now. That's an influencer. They're influencing you to play that damn game and try to do all the damn shit that they did. And then you buy their merch and everything else. But so I see the benefits of it as far as bringing a community together, bringing family together. Like I said, fostering entrepreneurship, and it's getting people moving. I do have to say, a lot of the move is not easy. Like, most of the dances aren't just like standing there or whatever. It's like this and this and this, and then turn. Like, it gets you moving. So it's I think it's super beneficial there. So that kind of led me to really start thinking about the platform itself, and really realizing that it's not just, we have to give credit to our children, because it's not just the freaking social media app that they get on and bother you, or you see them practicing a dance to. It really teaches them about marketing yourself. It teaches them about branding. It teaches them about, discipline. Because if you want to be, if you want to have followers and you want your video to be on the main page and stuff, you have to be consistent in the content that you're shooting. It kind of requires them as well to take on the role of a leader, because they have 25,000 followers and people want them to show them the latest dance because they're good at it. So there's definitely benefits to it. Another thing that I see is that it is a lot more positive now. I've only been on for a couple of weeks. I am pretty obsessed. When I get on it, I'm like, damn, been an hour already. You said what? Yeah, I just have to finish this. So yes, and I made me forget. You made me forget what I'm saying. Go ahead. You made me forget what I was thinking.
I've got a thought on creativity out of crisis. So
yes,
a lot of philosophy, a lot of spiritual practice, even science believes that everything in the entire universe came out of a point of nothingness, right? So in science, they call it the Big Bang. In the Kemet that you talk about, they call it noon. In Taoism, they call it the Wu. In Greek philosophy, they call it
what?
Wu, the Wu. In Greek philosophy, they call it chaos, right? And there's even chaos theory. So this point of kind of change for people where they feel like, oh, there's like nothing going on. This is your point to create your whole universe from, this is your moment, your singularity, your Wu, your noon, your chaos moment where you just get to create a whole new universe from this point of nothingness. So
what's the word that you just said? That reminds me of the Matrix. What did you say?
Well, life is a matrix, isn't it?
No, I like what you just said though. It's like not create your own destiny, but you were saying like create. Oh my God, what did you just say? Oh my gosh.
The creative forces of the universe come from a moment of absolute nothingness, right?
Yes, yeah, and ingenuity. I mean, that's what ingenuity is. It's like, oh my gosh, I got this idea. Where did that come from? It's like the act of serendipity. Like you have this idea, and I say it all. I've said it a lot, and it's proven itself. Like, oh shit, if I don't make that, if I don't do this, somebody else is going to be blessed for that. I mean, the idea is out there. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't jump, somebody else is. And so that's kind of like that, creating something from nothing. And
that's called the well of creativity. And it reaches out to many men. Like many men had the thought of inventing the automobile. But the truth is, in reality, what happened is only Henry Ford ended up following through. Many people talk about, oh, this guy thought about the internal combustion engine.
It's like, but he didn't do it. I thought Tesla had it already. He stole it. Well, first, let's be honest. We know that everything was created by black men. So it was all really stolen from a black man. But I thought that Ford burnt down Tesla's. By burning down Tesla's, okay, yeah, that's competition. But yeah, okay. So I get what you're saying.
But many men who we will never know their names actually had the idea as well, right? Because the creative well reached out to them too. And so that's what kind of happens for us is when we're quiet and we're kind of up to nothing, we can tune into the well of creativity much, much better. And then actualizing that and bringing it forth or to fruition is a part of that discipline that you were talking about, right? Of getting in the habit, the force of habit.
Y'all hearing this? You're giving me the ABCs 1, 2, 3 right here. Like legit. We're in silence. You have the ability to have your mind be silent right now. You know what I'm saying? You're not having to worry about, you're worried about, me going back to work or whatnot. You're not worried about that article that's due or that deadline or hating your neighbor or whatever else. The most you have to worry about is feeding those babies every hour and a half, making sure that your communication with your significant other stays good, that you know, and really, like you said, you definitely have that ability now that your mind is silent from the everyday static that plays, to be able to dig into that. You called it a well of creativity?
The well of creativity.
Yes, yes. And everybody has that. Like that, what you said was so freaking powerful. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I love that you said that. And you said it in a way that it's like, if a light bulb doesn't go off for somebody, what the hell?
Yeah, well, I mean, think about how work and the rat race is often,
there's more than one.
how work and the rat race of work is often such a distraction from people leveling up in their mindset, and they literally go their whole life, just days passing you by, one after the other, the same. And somewhere your heart is calling out to you. But remember what it said in The Alchemist, that your heart starts to quiet down because it doesn't want to hurt you, right? By constantly pressing you to actualize. So as time goes on, you become less and less inclined to advance, essentially, right? And to get into your purpose. You're just working somewhere. So if we can remove that from people's minds.
Your heart's strong and your desires are strong, but your mind is stronger. Like our mind is such a powerful thing. So when you are in the mindset of, no, I have to work this job because I have a responsibility, I have obligations, and then you convince yourself like, oh, this is what life's about. Like, I might as well just work, and, you know, I'm able to provide a nice place for my family, and I can take a vacation here and there every year. You know, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then, like you said, your heart quiets down because your heart's like, well, all right, your mind is made up, and your mind is so powerful. We are spitting just knowledge.
But I'm not saying people don't have to work and people don't have to have nice homes, you know, because often people want to misunderstand that and go, well, what are we all going to live in huts and just dig for roots and berries? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's about whatever work you do for a living. If you're living in purpose, the money will come, because the money is just a concept. It's just a construct. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, your survival is ultimately going to be there for you. You're not just your survival, but your thrival.
Getting into, yes. If you are, like I said before, we are a piece of a larger puzzle. So when you play your role, or you fit exactly into that puzzle where you're supposed to, the universe is providing everything else that you need. Because at that time, you are, like I said, playing your position, you know, playing in your role. And it's very powerful when that happens. So I will say really quickly, watching, part of the reason why I read The Alchemist and For Agreements, and then there's another one that he mentioned the other day, but was due to Big Sean. Okay. He speaks very highly. I've heard other artists and stuff talk about it too, but he speaks so passionately, like he's so spiritual and passionate about it. Yes. Yes. Okay, so I need to borrow that one from you so I don't have to buy it. Because I had the library book. Yes, girl. Oh, my Alchemist is downstairs. Yes, but hallelujah. It's always good to have, you know, this is my book that I'm still reading from Jessica. Going to get into that one. But I'm reading The Alchemist again. I'm starting to do like my little highlighting deals. I never understood that, but
there's this too.
It speaks differently to you. Yes, and we have that as well. Where's the secrets over there? Yes. It reads differently to you depending on where you are in your life. So The Alchemist is reading different to me than it was 3 years ago when I read it. But it's still powerful. But Big Sean was saying, he was on, you know, one of my favorite shows, Hot Ones, you know, oh, you're going to have to go on the game show with me. I found out there was a game show for Hot Ones. That's why I'm going to be able to go on there and just beast on the hot wings. But yeah, so he was on there and he was just, you should watch the episode. You can find it on YouTube. First We Feast, Hot Ones. Sean Evans is the host. And Big Sean was just really genuinely impressed with, I think, the energy of the host, who seems like a really good guy. He's good at his job. And then just kind of fell into this conversation about spirituality and living your true purpose and whatnot. And I cried just because I felt it so much. And I was just like, how am I crying off of Big Sean on Hot Ones, meaning some hot wings? But it was really good episode. I have my favorite episodes. Kevin Hart's probably it's definitely go watch it. You'll like it. So you know,
well, also right now
yeah.
for creativity for people is their health. A lot of people's health in the United States is really failing, and taking the time to be creative about how they can become a part of their health, right? A lot of people's health aspects have been handed over to the doctor and the medical system, and that is not the way health is intended to work. So you have to be in
And they're
control.
seeing now, they're seeing now how much the doctor actually wants you to be in control. The doctor wants you to come in and say, this is what I do, this is what I don't do, blah, 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 and be completely transparent. So he can go like this into the little thing and go, okay, this is what you need to do, and go on. Like legit, that's what they want. And people are seeing it now, seeing that, you know, well, I think I might be sick. And they're like, well, I don't know what to tell you because you have to wait. So it is, once again, it's allowing people, and it's causing this kind of understanding and movement that you got to be more in control, you know, which is, you know, why I think there's three things that the sales surged, you know, once all of the in-home shelter started. So there are 16 states in the country that do not have a order right now. So the rest of us are. So there are three things that, like I said, the sales have rocketed. First is in cannabis. Like the numbers were bananas the first couple of weeks. And that makes sense. You know, people are home, they got nothing to do, maybe a little stressed out in the week.
Right.
Got it. Blessing. Secondly, the premium memberships to Pornhub increased. And then what Pornhub decided to do, because, you know, it's essential for you to have some entertainment when you're home, they decided to just go ahead and open up their premium membership for free to everybody.
For 2 weeks.
Well, for 2 weeks, yeah, which is still enough for them to kind of catch up, I think, with all the traffic that they're having and get some people in there for real. And then the most recent numbers came out. Alcohol sales have also increased in the last week.
Oh yeah, I've seen people buying so much booze, and I'm like, yeah, not what you want to do right now. Become an alcoholic because you're locked in the house.
Funny. Look, I'm being legit. Everybody that I know, I was in a conversation with some friends in high school today, and it was like 6 of us in a group message, and everybody's like, I've been drunk for 2 weeks. Like,
right.
Easy.
Because you can be.
Get a beer. You know?
Because you can be, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's what it is. So, but listen to 3 things. People are getting high, they're having sex, and they're drinking. There's definitely going to be some babies.
Or at least releasing.
In some way. Exactly. So
my sister told me what they're calling them. They're the children, the babies that are going to be born are called the children of the corn.
Oh, that's corny as shit. But that's funny. If they're called Generation Corn, I would, oh my God, that'd be crazy. But this is definitely, I'm sure, a topic. You know, the corona and quarantine has been topics on plenty of podcasts. And I do know that, you know, a great way for an individual to start a podcast, if you have a opinion about any of the things that we talk about, or just about anything. You know, everybody has an opinion. So if you wanted to start a podcast, the best way to do that is through Anchor.
Ready?
Yes. All right. So thank you so much to our sponsors, Anchor and Monthly. If you would like to be a sponsor, hit us up. Hit us up on IG, email as well. You can find all that information through social media, and we would love to talk to you guys about that and some sponsorships. So before we went into these sponsorships, we were talking about a couple of the like TikToks, and want to talk about a great video that I saw last week that really sums up what it's like to be a parent home with your children now. So we'll play that one first. Are you there or are you not? Boo boo, because you're frozen on our screen. She made us be walking. Oh, she dropped, so she should go back. Okay. All right. All right, so thank you for hanging out with us a bit and hearing about our sponsors from Anchor FM and Monthly. If you guys are interested in being a sponsor, maybe wanting to do some collabing, let's talk, let's chat. We're all ears. Once again, we do have some awesome merch as well. So you guys want to start rocking some, Menage with the Mary Jane merch, you go ahead and visit our Teespring store. You can find that information. And we're going to have a couple pieces of gear pretty soon here that we'll maybe be able to give out to some listeners. But yes, so once again, thank you for hanging out with us for those messages. But as we were saying before we went into the messages there, the sponsorship, we were talking about a couple of videos that I wanted to share. So the first one actually goes back to the conversation about being a parent at home and all of the roles that you now are taking on. We didn't ask to, but now we're being required to take these roles on with having your children home. Which, guys, I don't understand why people complain about it, especially if you're home right now. When it gets to the point of you going back to work, worry about it then. But right now, kids are just petri dishes for germs. Like, let's start where we need to. But yes, so this is a desperate mother's prayer. I believe she's a comedian. I've heard after this. So
Oh, I saw this. Yeah. I saw it.
Yes, you did. I thought it was hilarious. Like, she was like, I am not a cafeteria cook. Like,
let's pray. Father God, I am a child of God. What I am not is a homeschool teacher. God, I'm at home, but Lord, ain't no teaching going on around here. Father God, I am your humble servant. What I am not is a math teacher, God. Lord God, the spirit of Common Core has attacked our household.
Yes.
The only thing we have is frustration and no answer to the matter. God, I ask you, send down your angels of the carryover.
Good thing I have a math teacher as a husband.
Carry the one over to the next place you can get the answer, Lord God. Lord God, I am a lady in your vineyard. What I
Vineyard
is the cafeteria lady, Lord. Yet again, the devil has attacked and sent down a tapeworm onto my child, Lord God. And I need you
they're so hungry all of a sudden.
Understand, Lord, that just because there's a refrigerator don't mean the door got to be open. And just because there's a stove don't mean the eye has to be on. It is our house, showing Noah Waffle House, Lord God. Lord God, right now, I need you to understand
That was so
that
funny.
times I do love bread. But I see if things continue the way that they are going, Lord God, not only am I your child, but I'm going to be an inmate. I'm going to jail, Lord God. I don't look good in orange. I don't look good in jumpsuit, Lord God. But Lord, I ask that you change the way things are going right now, Father God, and bless every teacher, because they got a special place in heaven. Ain't no way that I could do it, Lord God. Ain't no way. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
all of you. I mean, she prayed that shit. Like that was a real prayer. Like she was about to, testify and was about to break out. That was funny. I thought that was 1,000% realistic.
The Common Core part. I said, my household has been attacked by Common Core in the past when my daughter was younger, and I definitely had to rebuke that spirit. I was like, oh no, this is some hex voodoo something happening right now. I rebuke this.
Look, when I couldn't help Deuce with his homework in 2nd grade, I looked at Julie and I said, well, putting that out there, didn't you? Looked at the hubby, and I was like, so this is all you. I have everything else. I will take every other freaking subject, art, and he lets me do it.
Girl,
math, math.
I burned a sage on that shit. I burned a sage and some candles on Common Core. And I told my daughter, I said, look, if they want you to know this, then they're going to have to teach you. But if they're just sending this home to cause some rift between us, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's it. The teachers want to cause between you and your daughter.
That was good. I like that. Like if they try to have have us have smoke, then it is what it is. But no, seriously, like he he gets it because, of course, he did. I hate to say that. It's like old math or whatever you want to call it. And he still finds fault. He gets why they're teaching them the way that they are. It's building a critical thinking. But he also thinks that they are hindering students because they don't have the foundation of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he tells me that, some of the students, sophomores don't know multiplication tables. Like, 1 year I was like, what are you doing with 40 laminated, multiplication charts? Like, I ain't seen this since 5th grade. He's like, that's where some of them's math level is.
Well, then there are also
so
times
you can't build when they don't have the foundation.
And processing cognition issues with math, right? And that's not actually conducive to those either. You know what I mean? So, but
yeah, it's very true. Very true. But yeah, so we have we'll look at the other video so then we can. Yeah, what other videos? It's supposed to be a quick little jump in. Yeah, so this is gonna be the TikTok one. Mm-hmm. So very funny. I told you about the inmates, right? He went to Google and there are plenty of videos of people in jail. This isn't even the one that I saw.
Oh, so they just breaking the
county jail.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm your warden. I'm giving you all more time. I'm not gonna lie.
Up with a smartphone. You never heard 2 Chainz? He tells writing that song. A nigga, that song slap. I'm trying to drop a baby. Okay, so first of all, why are there so many of you in one cell, and that nobody notices that there's like 5 of you? Unless they stay in there, which is.
I can't have another.
I'm hoping that they're not gonna do a TikTok just to like shake somebody. Like that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of freaking bamboozling just to get somebody doing a whole TikTok.
I can't like this.
I guess you don't want to do a TikTok with me then. What is Farrah's neck? Where are they running to? The cells that big?
I don't know. I live in the gym.
Oh. What's even better about that is they don't have the shirts on. Why?
Hey.
You can tell I've been watching lots of TikTok.
Okay. The jailhouse, though. The jailhouse.
Sorry, it's addicting. When the songs come on, it's just like you can't help it.
The jailhouse, they had their shirts off. They was looking like some real hunks of men.
Well, girl, did you see the first one? They had the little like handkerchief.
That's nudity.
The kerchief tied around his neck. Like, what was that about? Where is that gangster? The kerchief. Actually, YG does wear.
He had a string tie.
Kerchiefs now. He's hella stylish though. Like he's hella stylish. Yeah, but I don't want to see his ankles anymore. He does wear a lot of short pants. There it is right there. Okay, now watch this next one. YG, but this is one I saw. Like I get this one, they're in the bunk. So 8 of them just hanging around. Okay.
That is so like, yeah.
Okay, so this is awesome. This is great. Look at him, Mike. He's looking off to the side like he's getting some coaching or something. That was ready? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you almost missed it. They're not doing it right. First of all, you're supposed to go with the same. Oh. That's not. They cut it off. First of all, you know somebody's like sitting on a bunk.
Right.
Yes, with blankets around them. Like that. Yeah, girl. I mean, come on. Can you see why I'm so entertained? Why I'm like, that's just one of the many reasons. Like coming across shit like that.
Don't get me wrong. Do not get into it. I have not picked it up for a definitive reason. I have purposely not, because I know how alluring it is, and I want to stay focused on
other things just because I get easily distracted. That's all. But I love it. I think it's great. I don't see anything wrong with it. I've went on TikTok maybe for an hour. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, I downloaded it, I think, a couple years ago because, Jax keeps me up on the apps. My 8-year-old, he was like 6 then. He was like, Mom, you got to get on TikTok. And I was just like, boy, kids, like what? But now I'm like, okay, got to do it.
Yeah, I put one on when it first came out, and then I took it off.
It's something that, yeah, it's pretty, I like it. I will say this, they have some, I used a filter the other day, and I was like, what? I took so many pictures. It was a makeup filter. I was like,
I haven't seen their filters yet.
Pictures. I was like, oh, fire. They have like a whole green screen one. Look, IG better catch the fuck up because theirs is much better. Like 1,000,000% better. And I'm all about the filters and all that little extra stuff. So was that it? That was the last one, yeah?
Yeah, Instagram, I think.
Yeah, so that was the end of our segment. Let's watch some YouTube videos. So,
I love it.
Which one do you want to find?
Which one?
Black Business.
Oh, Black Business Boom? Yeah. So, Vita, do you want to go ahead and talk about what you were saying about, what you would like to see as far as, or Black Equity Networks, both of those, what you would like to see, people doing as far as another, element of the creativity.
Right. Well,
entrepreneurship.
It's kind of like how right now your bills, they're not going to cut off your electricity, your phone, or your insurance, right? So it's an opportunity for people who have information where they normally would try to sell you that information or sell you on training you for that information. They can now form groups, small groups, and instead give away the information as a commitment, right, to each other and a process of learning. Now, if those 5 people that you train, when everything goes back to normal, they may have jobs. What's that?
Yeah. Networking, providing, I feel you. Yeah.
Spreading that whatever it was you shared with them and taught them, and now they can co-create your message with you.
Yes, and I love that you say that because it is, for lack of a better example, right now, it's really what happens when you get somebody to drink your Kool-Aid in a way. But you're doing it for a positive thing. You're trying to, like I said, build a community, be able to build that knowledge. And there's a huge movement going for, people of color and for anybody and I think it's because everybody has that desire to want to rebuild our country in a way that we used to be built upon, which was, even though we know it was a kind of big falsehood, the idea was the land of the free, the home of the brave, the prosperous. You can come here with $5 in your pocket and end up being a millionaire. And when you have industries like cannabis, or when you have, a boom in art, another thing about Instagram, oh my gosh, if I keep finding, I keep finding the most talented artists. I mean, it's just beautiful. And, and that's, that lends to what you were saying as well, is that people are sharing their knowledge, their interests, their talents, and being able to utilize this broader scale that brings us all together, social media. And what do you think that will do in conjunction with us having to go through this crisis of this pandemic? Do you think those, that result of seeing this burst in entrepreneurship and creativity and, like you were saying, makers, kind of a throwback
will
to
it stick?
For makers? Yes, and that will that gel, and do you think that that's going to be something that kind of moves us forward? What's kind of your opinion on that? How do you feel there?
I think that it would be nice if we thought that just the consciousness of something meant the actualization of it, but it doesn't. It goes right back to what you said in the beginning. It's the work, it's the dedication, it's the follow through. So this can all happen to you in the short term, and you have a really good time. You learn how to make some soap, and then you go right back to what you were doing before. And then the whole consciousness as a nation goes right back to what it was doing before. So we have to keep that internal shift strong within ourselves and let it become a practice that becomes an actual lifestyle. And then from there, we branch outward to co-create this message for our nation, for our collective consciousness, right? So the internal shift, you have to work on it, because it's easy to slip back into whatever you was doing before, you know. Got to make it stick, got to do the work.
In a broader way, it's, yeah, like you were saying, I mean, you said before, it's allowing us to be quiet and have that quiet time. Like we said last week, it's the universe's way, whoever, you know, you believe in, whatever way. I'm saying, go lay your ass down. Go lay down, and then that is hopefully starting that internal conversation that needs to be had, so that that internal change can be made, which will then, you know, spread like the corona has, unfortunately. But I see it, I feel that there's a rumbling of it. I think it's wanted, and that's why if we continue to have this conversation, you know.
Yes. Well, we have to continue to have the conversation. It's called a paradigm shift, okay? And in the spiritual community, they've been talking about the paradigm shift, and it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Yes.
So people who have been paying attention on this level, this is like, you're like, okay, this is it. This is just the beginning, though. Yep. It's not the actual shift. It's the push for the shift. Okay, you know, so there still could be more drama on the horizon. You have to keep your mind prepped for that. If it gets worse, what am I going to do? How am I going to?
We'll say,
hopefully not.
No, but you're right, because for myself, I've said about my journey in my spirituality and whatnot, and like you were saying, okay, I want to say I get moon omens every day, you know. It could be astrology, however you want to look at it, words of wisdom, but the ship always is exactly right of what's going on, what's coming up, you know, retrograde and stuff like that. You guys, it's not a joke. Like, it's really not, like, the energy of everything is so off, and it affects people differently. And like you said, like, it's been being told, you know, said that this was coming up. Now, did we think as a, you know, not everybody believes in it, but those that believe, did we think it was going to happen in one collective bill swoop, where it was going to be like United States or society, the world, let's get your shit together? No, of course not. But it is. So once again, let's take from it what we need to. And I like what you said about being a maker. I know there's a lot of like spring cleaning hashtags going on and things, but I'm also seeing people go, oh, I just, you know, made a table. You know, oh, I just created a garden for myself, something that I said that I was going to do and I haven't done. Myself included, I wanted a piece of wall art. I created it for myself. Past couple of days, that's what I've been spending on. You know, I was gifted some trim, so I've been processing that and, you know, making butter and making teas and things, tinctures.
And I've always had friends who make laundry soap for you or cleaning products for you because they want you to see
makes laundry soap. I need that ASAP.
How much healthier it is for you and for the and the environment too. You know, once you get rid of the bottles, they don't have to be recycled, and no car or plane or boat or anything with a carbon footprint really ever had to truck this shit all around. And then it's full of these scents that are really disruptive to people's endocrine systems. Not everybody, but some people, right? And so you never know. Are you that person that Tide is going to make sick? So if you're not using Tide,
that could be
all those problems go away.
A cause of like something like MS. They don't know, you know, something that's like MS or what's the one that Michael J. Fox has? Parkinson's. Things that are nerve type of, you know, illnesses. It could definitely be from things, you know. For example, I had really, really bad. I was hugely allergic to everything. Now multiple sclerosis. How do we know that's not from an allergy? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so now you can kind of detoxify. your life. You can get a lot of chemicals out of your life right now, and you can make it a point to let me help a friend get those chemicals out of their life by us learning how to make normal, just regular laundry detergent. It's not anything fancy with all these promises attached to it. It's just basic, ordinary cleaning, and that's all you really need.
I'm always looking for a recipe, and it always is asking for like borax or some shit like that. And I'm like, what is that? Why can't it just be essential oil in this or something? Like, I want to know what it is. I don't know what the hell borax is.
Well, it can. Borax is just a natural cleaning, is another mineral. You see, it's just another mineral. So it's just more of a cleaning agent, but you don't have to use borax.
Is that on the mineral chart?
What's that?
Is that on the mineral? What is that called?
Chemistries.
You know the thing with all the
periodic tables.
Yeah, periodic tables. Is that on the periodic table?
No, I think you're thinking maybe boron, because elements versus minerals are different.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
There you go. Yes.
Talking
I
to
totally
the
pay
science.
attention in physical science.
So yeah, I mean,
that was only one
have
semester.
fun with it. Have fun with it. It's an
Yeah,
opportunity
Well,
to just enjoy your life, to start learning how to live again.
Well, I think right now, we're being forced to be creative. So you can't find any alcohol. I'm trying to make my own hand sanitizer. You can't find an alcohol. You can't find any aloe vera unless it's fresh, which I know you're like, girl, we want to get some fresh ones. So that's cool. But I can't find any alcohol. And the stores aren't rushing to freaking, get it put back in there.
Well, listen,
bleach.
Industry is not going to stop producing isopropyl alcohol. You'll just have to be patient, because it may not be on your store shelves. Small bottles you may need to have to purchase in bulk through suppliers, because if you're going to make a supply, go ahead and buy a supply, Just
I mean,
thought,
you can't tell me that they didn't have like a surplus. How many people were just buying crazy amounts of alcohol before this? Like, some people probably they never even had a bottle of alcohol in their house, and now all of a sudden you can't find alcohol anywhere. Like, I legit went to the local Dollar Tree and I was like, forgive me for this, but I didn't think people around here were that I'm gonna say thrifty.
Well, hoarding is a problem here.
I just didn't think that they would think about that. Like, I know there's Auntie Google, but I did not think that around, the area here, people would think, oh, let me go buy some alcohol and some aloe vera and make some hand sanitizer.
Listen, hoarding is a problem. So if there's a hoarder, they will drive to other neighborhoods to do their hoarding. You see what I'm saying? So it's not always necessarily your neighbors.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? We made it off of just a couple of 4-packs of toilet paper. Like, not once have we gone and bought a freaking crazy abundance. Like, I have 3 boys in my house and myself. And yes, we've gone off of single rolls that we got.
I have a toilet paper story.
And then 4 packs. So 10 rolls.
I have a toilet paper story. Yes. Okay, so before COVID was in everyone's consciousness, right? Maybe about 3 weeks prior, I was at the Asian store and they had Hello Kitty toilet paper. And I'm such a Hello Kitty fan, and they're big packs too. So I bought 2 packs and they're huge. And I was like, I'm gonna buy more. And then I had this thought. I said, I think I should stop, because what about other Hello Kitty fans who might want some Hello Kitty toilet paper? I've got 2 packs. That's enough for months and months. It's not meant to be saved or hoarded. We're going to have to use it. It's not a novel, it's a novelty toilet paper, but toilet paper is intended to wipe your ass, not to sit around looking cute. So I was like, I've got enough to use. I could
see if you're a fan and I could see if you bought 1 pack and you were like, okay, this is going to go up there, but if it became desperate times,
and one to
you would break open that pack. I wouldn't have faulted for buying a pack.
Right. But my point was, think about what I was thinking. I wanted for someone else to be able to have some. And this was all out of want and desire and like, not even out of need, just out of fun, right? And then 3 weeks later, people become insane start buying up all the toilet paper as if no one else needs any. That's like so, you know, not to get back on that, but
paper towels, napkins, like wet wipes. Like, are you guys like really? Like,
so you know what I say?
Get your happy asses in the shower.
Right. You know what I say to those people? This is their opportunity to learn how to do something different, because life is not going to promise you paper towels and toilet paper always. You may have to go back to old school ways of, like you said, wash your ass and use a rag to clean up your house, because it's better for the environment if you use a rag instead of
use that same rag. Wash that rag. Exactly. I don't remember who it was, but somebody, I don't know why they were in the sink. And they were like, what is this old shirt and this old like towel doing down here? And I'm like, that's what I clean with. And then I wash it. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. Why would I keep going and buying paper towels to wipe up? I don't know how you clean your bathroom, but it would take much more than one paper towel for me to do what I need to do. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and take that old fucking dust rag, or whatever it is, clean this bathroom with some good old bleach and soap and water, throw that bad boy in the washing machine, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, simple things. We've been in this new place 5 months. We left the old place and we didn't want to take a whole bunch of shit, so we threw away mops and things. You know, I clean every floor in here that needs to be cleaned on my hands and knees with a rag, and I'm okay with it. One, because the spaces, the kitchens are a little smaller, but I actually feel like I'm getting it cleaner with that instead of like using the
Well, I have
then,
nothing but
doing that
hardwood and laminate, right? So my whole floor requires a mopping, no vacuuming. And I use old bath towels.
You're doing that at your house.
I use old bath towels. It's what I've always done for years and years and years.
Yeah.
A mop is too hurtful to my back, and the mop gets dirty, and I can't clean the mop as well as I can clean these towels. So
I always feel like it's just living in there. Like, that's just living. That's just
it is
a little hub of just grossness right on there, you know?
It is.
Old
if you
hair.
can't clean the mop, you're just spreading dirt. Germs.
Yeah, you're mopping dirt. Exactly. For real.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's just
about the toilet paper.
Like that. What you're saying is, well, one, I think it's important that we do acquire that skill. So much like what I said, you know, at the beginning of the episode, if you're not coming out of this with learning a new skill, you know, starting a side hustle, and what was the last one? I can't remember the last one. Well, you know, I'll find it. But either one of those things, then, and I'll add, you know, like being closer with your family, or, you know, making a move. For example, youngest one today added something else that he wants to do. That something else to Jackson's list of mom, can I? And I don't see any reason why it's not unattainable. It's not going to require me to do anything like crazy. My pockets aren't going to be, you know, dug into for it. And just seeing his interest and passion, let's do it, you know?
Right.
I think they're going outside and playing. My kids would not go outside and play, kids, because we always stayed in like a complex where you can't just let your kids go outside and play. We have a yard now. Every day, recess, PE, take your ass outside and play. They're like, do what? I'm like, play with each other.
You know, I have to be honest. So that is one of the things that hurts my heart the most for children right now in the world or in our current society, that I know of, that they're not getting out there to play, because, man, it's just so good for your soul.
You can't.
We played so hard when we were kids. We ran till we were so tired. And, you know, danced outside. And,
you know, you can't. The saying that you smell like outside, you know, I haven't said that to my kids more than a few times. And that's like us leaving a barbecue, a birthday party, or something where they happen to maybe be running around. Other than that, I used to hear that shit like at least once or twice a week. And I never got it. Like, you know, outside. But yeah, you just tired. You smell tired. That's why you smell tired. You don't get that now, you know? And they be looking at us trying to sneak back in the house, and we like, what did we tell you?
Wait, remember this? Remember this?
You know, but
I can't go back in the house and get nothing, because then I'll have to stay in.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, home.
Can I get some water? Why can't you give me water? Because if I go outside, I see. What? Right. I would never do that as a parent, even if our boys love going outside. I don't get that at all. I do not get that logic at all. Seriously. And
I do.
I remember how
You want to hear the logic? The logic is this. When they know you're outside, then they know you're outside. You see what I'm saying? And they don't have to go, oh, I think she's inside, so she's safe inside. So your parents want to keep their mind at where you're at. And so if you're in and out, they don't know. Is he safe in the house or is he out in the world? Plus, you might sneak up on him. Like, they might be up to something. They might be up to something. That's also
like saying, I used to hate saying, oh, can I go out, Friday? And they'd be like, didn't you go out last week? Yeah, because there was a football game last Friday, just like there's one this week. And they'd be like, no, you went out last week. What does that have to do with anything? Like, I would think that y'all would be like, yes, go, private time. But from that standpoint of like having your kid out there and having to worry, shit, they don't have to worry like we would have to worry now. Like, even though my mom
they
said
weren't
you can't
worried.
go to a birthday party or spend the night. Huh?
I don't think that the parents that I'm speaking of were worried. They just they might want to be in their room doing whatever, not even necessarily anything, they're watching the soap and the stories, right? And if they think you're in the house, they're in more of a state of relaxation than when they know you're out running around. And so if they don't know where you're at, is he outside, is he inside, how is their personal state of relaxation going to be? And plus, you track dirt, kids would track the dirt, getting into stuff, bringing people in the house with you. We know how it goes for us who play.
That one, man. Look, that's a Black person thing. You didn't just bring any old friend and y'all be in your room kicking it and your parents did not know. Like, that is no. You will be grounded. You will be on punishment. But that's true. But you know what's funny thinking about that? When Deuce started getting more active, we reneged on our whole idea. We reneged on the whole idea of not getting him a cell phone until he was 13, because it was like, well, shoot, you may be an after school program, you may be at practice, blah 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 blah. We didn't have that back then. I was active, I was across Laguna, away from my house, playing in a field. All my parents knew was I was out riding bikes, So it's kind of funny, in that aspect. I think the world is still crazy. But you definitely do have a little more threats, I think, now, just with some other shit going on. But so that was a good little tangent there. I like that. But yeah, so in touching upon everything here, I think that like I said, to kind of start with, we are very resilient individuals as a society, within the United States and around the world. And I think that we are showing that, as we start to get back to our normal, and actually then not to our normal, but actually making changes to make our normal even better.
The new normal.
I'm saying it with people wanting to help out and things like that. People trying to be considerate. Other than standing hella close at the grocery store, like there is a X on the floor. You stand there, I stand here. Why are you so close to me? That's how this lady was at the store the other day. I was like, see that blue X right there? But no, but those people are unhappy, and you touched upon that anyway. Like, you're not going to be able to look for the light to change yourself if there's no light, But yeah, so I want to give a shout out, to everybody that they're actually utilizing this time to make those steps forward to make a change, to make a positive change, to learn a new skill. Like I said, I'm really interested in, doing some pottery, or I want to build my own, storage seat. And I'm like, it's not hard with some, I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest, but I know how to get like 4 pieces of wood and some hot glue and just work it out and do some paint. Like and YouTube tells you
some pottery. Some pottery.
Our headboard. That was our latest thing that we did. Made our own headboard. So it's just little shit like that. Having to, one of my contracts that I had, they, had to end the contract. So then I'm like, for just about 30 seconds, like, oh, how am I going to replace that? And then I'm like, okay, minute, unemployment. Hey, but besides that, I'm like, you know what? Let me just do what I do. And I immediately went and signed up with like 3 other companies to do like affiliate work and, you know, a little bit higher, you know, responsibilities, kind of influencer, brand education and stuff, just immediately. So like I was able to go ahead and pick up another thing, another kind of side hustle. You know, create and elevate, guys. Definitely want to share that before we leave here. Just because we're not able to convene together, we still want to provide you that create and elevate experience. So we're doing something really special. Where I recorded a kind of special podcast episode at like 4:30 this morning, yesterday morning now, and it's sharing with you some infused drinks. So it's actually, I am sharing my knowledge of what I'm working with learning how to work with flour and trim and, you know, how to decarb and infuse some items. So I'm kind of sharing my knowledge for free. With that, there are yoga, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yoga. She's doing, I know, free classes, which is awesome. I think that's really cool for her. Shout out, because she's always very shy. Katie, yeah, she was like, oh, I don't like the attention. I don't want to be on camera. Well, now you're on camera, and you're actually providing service, and now her business is growing. So she is. So I do want to give a shout out to her. That's like our crowning. I give her, you know, the crowning moment, crowning achievement of this episode, because I verbally, you know, I've heard from her. That's something that she shared, that she does. She likes to be behind the camera, not in front. You know, her even teaching yoga was something that she was like, ooh, stepping out of my comfort zone, being the center of attention. And now you're going live and you're doing virtual classes, and that's going to reach more than just Sacramento. You know, so I definitely want to give her a shout out for that. And that's just an example of how we can become, you know, very resourceful through resiliency, and you know, through a crisis, you know, and kind of bouncing back.
Adaptability.
Yeah, adaptability, huge. Adaptability, accountability. These are all things that, you know, need to be held in order to kind of make these changes that we're hoping, you know, that are being, the need is being seen as much as what we see it. That's why this conversation is being had. So, yeah, anything else you wanted to share this morning, girl? Kept you up. I know you like to go to sleep early.
I know. No, I think I'm good. I think I got it.
Second week in a row, she kicked my birthday. Oh, remember we were talking about school days last week episode?
Mm-hmm.
It spoke that shit into existence.
Wait, what happened?
Netflix. School days. Remember we were talking about it? Have you seen it, or have you not seen it?
Oh, I've seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay. Yeah, so Zell hadn't seen it. That's right. So we were like, you need to see it. And then I was like, Netflix, where is it?
Oh, it's on there now?
That Aries energy. Somebody woke up and was like, oh, school days. And they went immediately and did whatever they needed to do, and they put it on. Yes. So my brother texted me today. My brother knows me very well. And he didn't say, hey, how you doing? You doing well? He said, hey, let you know, school days is on Netflix. I was like, thank you. So yeah. So if you guys haven't seen it, please do yourself a favor. Oh, Tiger King. We learned today that there's a documentary that tops that. We are going to watch it. It's called Tickled. So anybody that has Hulu, it is on Hulu. We're going to watch it. I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, we may need to do something to get you to watch it. But it's supposed to be crazier than Tiger King. And I don't know how that's possible.
Is it about tigers?
They're even coming up right now. Oh, you haven't seen Tiger King?
No, I'm saying is Tickled about tigers?
Oh, no. Oh, it's about a undercover community of ticklers in some other aspect. It's something. Like the tickle community. It's some. Yes.
Underground tickle community.
I'm already knowing about the tickling community. It's a thing.
I know. I remember an episode of Real Sex. Remember when they had the laughing yoga or the laughing therapy and then the tickle therapy? Well, I remember so much. Those stories go. I remember that from Real Sex, but I do remember that. So, yeah, but this. So there was one of the other podcasts, the influencers. Yeah, one of the influencers. Shout out to Kev on Stage and Doughboy. They have a show, Righteous and Ratchet, and they had
Righteous, Ratchet.
They want to talk about Tiger King, so they were like, we need to hear from white people, right? We need white people to explain it to us. So they had these two comedians, and they're content creators too. And one of them was like, dude, I love documentaries. He goes, and I'm gonna tell tops Tiger King by leaps and bounds. And he said tickled. I went like this, and I put TIC, and Google be listening, and so I brought it right up. And the way that he spoke about it, everybody that was on that show, and then us and sitting in our room, we were like, must watch that. So that's what I'll say. Tickled, Schooldaze, and City of God. If you guys have not seen that, that is also a must watch on Netflix as well. Netflix,
but that's an older one, right? About Brazil, right? Kids in Brazil.
Yes. Yeah. And then they have a 10 years later. So good. Shout out to Dean too, because he was the one that introduced us to that.
Right.
Yes.
So, I love that.
Any Hooters. Yes. So, yeah, I want to thank you for logging on with this a little late. This is actually like our 8:30. It's 2:30 in the morning. It's literally like our 8:30.
Wow.
We're going to get on and tape an episode. Well, we've taped an episode of our other podcast, our couples podcast, 5 times. Fire. Like the first episode, fire. I was like, babe, we're getting picked up. This is great. Didn't save the first half of it. Did it again. We scaled it down a bit. We kind of like narrowed it down, did some bullet points. Fire. Wasn't as fire as the other one, but fire. Didn't save it. So this is the third time.
Okay.
So we are going to go from this to rolling into our couples podcast.
Okay.
And then you and I have to talk about what other one that we want to do as well. And I did want to really quickly, I do want to give you a little shout out, and I want to give you I want to tell you what you should do, not a recommendation.
Okay.
You were talking about, the community and building that community and allowing people to get together in groups and, people sharing their expertise and things like that. I'm not sure if people know, I think you mentioned it a couple times, but Vita is a screenplay writer. Yes. Could be play, could be screen. But she has a movie pinned, which I also think could probably roll into like a really cool, play. Maybe start off and don't take it as offense, but like the Chitlin Circuit kind of play it first. Black folks love us some good stuff. And move on from there. But I think it would be beneficial. I was just telling you this the other day. I think it'd be awesome for you to get out of your normal group of people, an individual, and and build this community, because there's so many. You have to remember, like, creativity is being created now. These people are out there. You can be building a community of people that can help you to complete that movie.
Oh, you want me to convert it to theater?
Year. I'm sorry, what did you say, honey?
I said, you want me to convert it to a theater version?
Hey, so why not? What would benefit is where you would make the movie first, right? Yeah, like, why not? I mean, bring arts back to it. We have a burgeoning, we have 4 awesome, theaters in the area. One more specifically,
Celebration Arts.
We wanted to be Black. So, yeah. So, I think it's awesome. I think you should really kind of consider that. I think that was the universe telling you that. I know. No, I really do. I think that 2020 can end up as it's going to be positive. Right now, it seems shitty as hell. Everybody went in 2020 like, new decade, let's get it, new me, I'm ready. And then it was like, wow, this shit sucks. So I think it'll end up where. There's a lot of prosperity and a lot of visions and things coming to fruition. And you've said so many wonderful things tonight, and things that are just like gems and true. And I don't know if, you know, you were actually taking that in, other than when you were giving that information. So I wanted to just kind of highlight that, you know, that was all coming through you, the universe's message to you. So I think you should, if we have to work on it together, let's do it. But I think that'd be awesome.
I've got one last thing to say then. You know, people said in 2020 knew me, right? And what you forget, or we often forget, is that the birthing process is hard and it's often messy, right? But you can get through it, and in the end, there's new life. So change is just like the birthing process. It's hard, it's messy, but in the end, there's new life. You just gotta keep pushing.
You're right. Yeah, I remember the first one. I was like, I'm gonna die. That boy was out, and I was like, whew. Because somebody go give me 2 tacos from Jack in the Box. I was like, what was I hollering about an hour ago? Like, it literally is. You go through that. It's rough as shit. Once again,
just keep pushing.
Or agreements.
Or Dory would say,
pushing. I'm like that. Hey, just like you know, I was about to show my tattoo. Wait, let's see. Oh shit! Ow! Ow! Okay. Can you see it? No, I don't see it.
Is that new?
If I go like this and like my leg up, like I'm about to strip or something. Okay. So yes, my Dory that I got on my leg many years ago.
Okay.
Really short.
Nice.
So
keep swimming.
So just that's exactly why I got it, to look down every day and just remember, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And on that note, guys, just keep swimming, keep fostering this creativity, keep doing things that are awesome, and that's going to help to make this country even stronger, make your life even better, allow you to really tap into your purpose, use cannabis to get enlightened the way that we were, and have these fantastic conversations. Keep the conversation going, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Menage with Mary Jane Maiden. My girl, my right hand, Vita. Giving all the life and all the flame. Like, she might have beat me. She might have been die-line tonight. She had fire. Spit straight fire. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Good.
Yep. Yay! That was awesome. She didn't hang up.